Hello, everybody. This is Miss Dreyer. On Thursday, April 23rd, you will have a quiz on subject-verb agreement. So I would like to review with you some important aspects of subject-verb agreement. So you will be successful not only on the quiz, but when you encounter subject-verb agreement on the SAT. So let's get started on this quiz. And let's hope I do okay. Okay, so the first one, choose the sentence that uses the correct verb. So we have neither Marissa and her friends nor Chelsea are going to the finals, or neither Marissa and her friends nor Chelsea is going to the finals. Well, okay, so we have two choices here. We have are and is. So we have to figure out what the subject of are or is. In this case, we have a compound subject. We have the name Marissa, and we have friends, and we have Chelsea. This is a compound subject. There is more than one noun comprising the subject. However, this is a case of neither nor. Whenever you see neither nor in your sentence, you have to select the subject closest to the verb to determine whether it's going to be singular or plural. In this case, the subject closest to the verb is Chelsea. Chelsea is singular, therefore we have to pick a singular verb. All right, so we are going to select B. All right, next. This one, choose the sentence that uses the correct verb. Again, neither the buttons nor the trim properly matches the fabric on Vicky's new dress, or we need to use the word match. Okay, so do we want to pick matches, which is singular, or match, which is plural? Well, again, we have a neither nor situation. So we have to find the subject closest to the verb. So the subject of the verb matches or match. We have buttons and trim. Those are the subjects. It's a compound subject again. But again, it's not buttons and the trim. It's buttons nor the trim. So trim is singular. Because trim is singular, we need a singular verb. And the singular verb in this case is the word matches. So we are going to pick A. All right, number 3. Okay, here we have the case, the gingerbread cookies, and we have an intervening phrase here, comma, which look good on the dessert tray, comma, were tasteless. The phrase between the commas doesn't even count when you're determining the subject-verb agreement in this case. So you can ask yourself, what were tasteless or what was tasteless? In this case, we're talking about cookies. Cookies is plural. Cookies were tasteless. So we are going to select A. Okay, here we have another neither nor situation, neither Jason nor Ryan. Then we have this long intervening phrase, even though they both turned in excellent performances on the addition. So everything between the commas here, in this particular case, ignore. Because we want to say were chosen for the lead in the play or was chosen for the lead in the play. We're talking about Jason nor Ryan were or was chosen for the lead. Again, neither nor. The subject closest to the verb is Ryan. Ryan is singular, therefore we have to pick B. Ryan was chosen. Okay. 5. Now we have a compound subject again, Marcus and Carlos. Well, when you have an and situation, we have a plural subject. So in this case, Marcus and Carlos, the plural verb here is go. So Marcus and Carlos go to my school. So we are picking B. All right, this one. Miranda's friends. Again, we have an intervening phrase here, on a bitterly cold day in January. And then we see the verb, was stranded or were stranded for hours on a little traveled road. Well, in this case, the subject of the verb, and one way you can try to figure out the subject is to ask a question. Who or what was stranded? Well, Miranda's friends were stranded. Miranda's friends, plural, so we need the plural version, and that would be letter B. Okay, let's go. Number 7. 7. Okay, choose the sentence that uses the correct verb. Okay. A number of students who left the school for the big demonstration were suspended or was suspended. Well, when you use a number as opposed to the number, you treat number as plural. So a number, which is the case here, of students, we're talking about a lot of students who left the school for the big demonstration, were suspended. So in this case, we want to pick the plural, were, even though the word number is singular. Because it's preceded by the word a, we want to go with were. And in this case, a number is referring to students. So again, it becomes plural. It's a little confusing, I know. But we're going to pick A for number 7. 8. Okay, here we have an either or. Same as neither nor. Either Alex and his team or the other Bantam team go to the finals or goes to the finals. In this case, we have to pick, now this is a little bit tricky because it has either Alex and his team, and then the or comes in, or the other Bantam team. Okay, the second part of the subject, which is team, Bantam team, we're talking singular. Again, because it's either or, you have to pick the subject closest to the verb. In this case, it is the Bantam team. So we have to pick goes because Bantam team is singular. So we need to pick the singular verb, goes. 9. Okay, another neither nor. So you should be getting good at this now. So we have neither the rowboat nor all the sailboats. Was able or were able. Well, in this case, the subject closest to the verb is sailboats. Sailboats is plural. Therefore, we must pick a plural verb. In this case, sailboats were able. So we are going to select B. 10. The number of robins arriving back this spring is lower than usual or are lower than usual. So remember the last one we did using the word number. It said a number. When it's a number, you treat it as plural. When it says the number, you treat it as singular. So the number of robins arriving back this spring is lower than usual. So we're going to pick A. Okay. All right. Shaylee, along with 3 of her best friends, are going, or Shaylee, along with 3 of her best friends, is going. Be very careful. This phrase here, along with 3 of her best friends, is not part of the subject. It's actually a prepositional phrase. And a noun or nouns in the prepositional phrase would never be the subject. So we have to just ignore this part of the sentence and go with the subject here. Shaylee. Shaylee is singular. So it's going to be Shaylee is going to the concert. Do not think of along with 3 of her best friends as the same as and with 3 of her best friends or and 3 of her best friends. It's not a plural subject. So here we have to pick the singular verb because the subject is Shaylee. Shaylee is going to the big concert. All right. This one, the bubbles being blown by Roland the Clown is floating all over the park or are floating all over the park. Again, you're going to have these intervening phrases between the subject and the verb. So to figure it out sometimes, if you look at the verb, you could ask yourself, who or what is floating? And the answer would be bubbles. Bubbles is singular. Bubbles are floatings. Bubbles is plural, sorry. So we want to pick B. Bubbles is plural. We need a plural verb, are. So therefore, 12 is B. 13. The dog across the street, as well as all the other dogs on the street, never stops barking or never stop barking. Here again, we have prepositional phrase across the street. So we have to ignore any noun in this phrase because it's never going to be the subject. Here we have as well as all the other dogs on the street. This is not the same as and. This is like together with, along with. You do not include it in the subject, okay? So we have to now look at the sentence. Who or what never stops barking or never stop barking? Dog. Dog is the subject of the sentence here, right? So dog is singular. Therefore, we need to pick a singular verb, and the singular verb in this case is stops. The dog, if we get rid of all the other words in between, we could say the dog never stops barking. So we are going to pick A, singular subject, and therefore a singular verb. All right, the students in my art class, along with our teacher, are going to the art museum on Friday. I hope you're getting good at this now to understand that all of the words from here to here are never going to be part of your subject. Why? In my art class is a prepositional phrase. So the word class would never be part of your subject, along with our teacher, another prepositional phrase. So teacher would never be part of your subject. So we're left with the students. Would we say the students are going to the art museum on Friday or is going to the art museum on Friday? Well, in this case, students is plural. So therefore we need a plural verb. And the plural verb in this case is are going. The students are going to the art museum. Okay. And last but not least, Raymond and his friends, as well as Alex, want to go to the hockey game. So in this case, we don't count as well as Alex, okay? Oops. We only look at the subject, which is a compound subject, Raymond and his friends. So if it said his friends and Raymond or Raymond and his friends, it's the exact same thing because it's a compound subject joined with subjects joined by and. So therefore we have a plural subject. So we have a plural subject, we need a plural verb. In this case, the plural verb is want. Raymond and his friends want to go to the hockey game, so we're going to pick A. Submit. So let's see how we did. Well, we got 15 out of 15. Oops. So they're all correct. If there's anything you still do not understand, by all means, please contact me and ask me. You have from now until Thursday. Bye-bye.